Welcome. It's the Life Calling Coach. Here we are again for our wellness growth reading. If this is your first time tuning in, I thank you for visiting with us and I hope that you'll come back soon. We have growth readings that help you heal from inside and help you bridge the gap to get you to the other side on our growth solution. Okay, but everything we do here at the Life Calling Coach is about wellness and growth. So let's get into it. Okay, so as usual, we're reading from our Herb-Cedar-Associated Tarot. And I've already did the pull for you, so let's see what God has to say. Your growth solution for this week is the 5 of Earth. Okay, and in traditional tarot, I'll tell you what it means. In traditional tarot, Earth is pentacles, okay, and the learning for Earth is giving, okay. So the 5 of Earth, which would correspond to the 5 of Pentacles, and your skill is given. Let's see what God says. He wants you to give something. Okay. So our growth solution is the 5 of Earth. Notice the house. The herb associated is slippery elm. And I mean, just looking at the picture, I'm going to look at the picture for myself and see what I see. There's a storm brewing in the back of the house, and things around the house look peaceful, but there's a storm brewing behind. And there's the vine of the slippery elm just growing on its own. See that? Okay, let's see what God has to say. Soothe the pain of those in need. Even the wounded can heal. You may have, or you have the skills it takes to survive any crisis. Anybody out here thinking, this is going to do something to me, it's going to tear me up, I'm going to fall apart. No, you're not. No, you're not. You have the skills to survive any crisis. And in this particular skill, it's talking about using the skill of giving. So in order for you to survive whatever crisis you're in, you're going to have to start giving to others. Let's see what else. A slippery elm sapling sits in the empty yard of a beloved home that has white paint chipping from its sides and boarded up windows. Wind supports are in place and the tender trunk is protected from deer by a circle of bamboo. That's what's on the plant. You see the circle of bamboo at the end, at the bottom. The home is old and in need of repair. The home is old and in need of repair. But it is sturdy. It's sturdy. The old black chairs rock in the wind. Economic and physical hardship may cause stress, and who in right now is not dealing with economic or some physical hardship? I know that I am. I'm dealing with both. Because of my physical hardship, it's causing my economic hardship. Because I'm on disability, because of my herniated disc in my back. So the fact that I have this physical hardship means that I can't work a traditional job, and I am in a position where I have to rely on disability, or I make money where I can as an entrepreneur. Setbacks can take you by surprise and reduce your vitality. Alienation from your support system compounds the issue. Understand that we have to have a support system. If you are in a situation where you have any type of hardship, you have to have a support system. Parents have to have support system for their kids, because parenting is a big job, and sometimes we need breaks. And if you don't have a good support system, then that's going to break down at some point. Okay? While slippery elm is a valued botanical, For the first few years of life, the bark provides medicine for inflammation and materials for baskets. Its health is threatened by Dutch elm disease. Its health is threatened by Dutch elm disease. All trees eventually become susceptible. All trees eventually become susceptible. Slippery elm teaches that even in hard times, we have access to our resources if we do not lose faith. Even in hard times, we have access to our resources if we do not lose faith. That means if you don't get in panic mode, okay? You know how I told you how you want to avoid those extremes? So you don't want to get extremely sad. You don't want to get extremely mad. You don't want to get, extremely too happy. Because when you're at extremes, you forget about your resources. Okay? You have the skills to protect what remains and make it through the crisis. Create a warm and comforting place to hold up while your situation improves. Wow. Sounds like hibernation. So let's look at this. Let's unpack this, because this sounds like it's very personal to me. As I stated, because of my physical impairment, I am limited in some of the things that I can do. Would not be able to work a traditional 9-to-5 job. And even in my entrepreneurial endeavors, I have to have limitations because I work from home. But the physical limitations sometimes interfere with my ability to get the work done. Some days I am in the bed from pain. Like a day like today when it's rainy. It's not a very good day for me to be productive because the rain makes my back pain even more sensitive. My back is sensitive to the rain. I have arthritis in that area as well. So when it rains, the back pain is more pronounced. Okay, so it's not very productive for me. But according to what this word says to us, I have the skills to protect what remains and make it through the crisis. How? Creating a warm, comforting place to just hold up and just wait till it goes over. And that's what I do. I don't try to push myself and make myself be able to perform things that physically I'm limited with at that moment. I just get up and like in my cozy bed, or if I get on the couch, get a heating pad, there's my warmness, and I wait for it to pass, and that is part of my resource. Part of your resources is knowing when you need to say when. Easy does it, but do it. That's one of your resources. Temperance. Easy does it, but do it. So how do we craft with this? How do we craft our wellness with the slippery elm? Take slippery elm lozenges to soothe the stomach upset by worry and stress. Because when you're worried and stressed, that's exactly where it hits me first, in my stomach. Honor the gifts of slippery elm. Support United Plant Savers' efforts to protect this plant. Okay? Or take a wild skills class and learn to make containers from slippery elm bark. Now that sounds like fun. Okay? You get to touch the bark, and that kind of can give you a little bit of spiritual release. Being in touch with nature always helps to bring some clarity, okay? So those are some ways you can craft your wholeness with slippery elm. Okay, so let's go on to our bridge. Our bridge for this week is a major arcana, and it's the Fool. Can you see the picture clearly? The Fool. Let's see what the food. Now, just looking at the picture of the food, the sun is shining bright on him, and he has this, kind of like, oh, the world is just what it is, and but he's standing on a cliff. That's interesting. Holding a single flower, and he has his head to the sky, like, all things are possible. I'm not bothered by anything. You could say he was kind of a little lackadaisical, right? So what our card says is about this particular type of person, let's say that you are unpredictable, open, spontaneous, adventurous, a free spirit, and a dreamer. Didn't I just say that? That's what the picture shows. Like, he's kind of lackadaisical, like, oh, the world is mine, I'm going to do what I need to do. Which is not sometimes a bad way to be, okay? Because this is your bridge for this week, okay? And so you need to get into a spirit of giving, according to what our card said, okay? So in order to do that, you need to be in your entrepreneurial spirit, your free spirit, because that's where your gift is. And when you're giving, you should give from your gift. So your bridge for this week is about you tapping into that gift. Let me read some more for you. You are free of responsibility by choice and do not like restrictions. The one thing that I really like about this, it says, this is key to our reading for this week. You have the soul of an entrepreneur. It signifies the start of a new phase in life. Trust in your own ideas. Remember I said, go into that gut and find that gift. That God-given gift, your calling. And that's what you need to give from this week, okay? That's your bridge for this week. You need to give from that gift. Okay? You are a natural born. Your soul is naturally born to be entrepreneur, free spirit. Time to dig in. Okay, that's your bridge for this week, the Fool. Now, I also have your love card, because I'm going to always include a love card, like I told you. And we're still in that same love energy this week that we were in last week, which is cheerfulness, okay? Cheerfulness. Okay. And for cheerfulness, basically the message was for you to be an inspiration to someone else, which goes along with what your bridge said and with what our card said. The earth is of giving, okay? But you want to give from cheerfulness. You want to give from love. You want to give from goodness. So that's where this love card comes in your cheerfulness. Make sure that your giving comes from a good place, okay? Okay, so now we have gotten through this one rather quickly. God has been straight and to the point for this reading. So guess what? We're ready for our growth solution. And the growth solution is what you should be striving to obtain. Your growth solution is your goal for the week. This is where I'm getting to. Once I have addressed these three things that we have presented, your growth reading, your bridge, and you incorporate your love, this is your goal, okay, for the week. Your goal for the week. Self-love. Self-love. And we're on this journey of self-care, so this is very appropriate, because one of the things that you want to make sure that you do in your giving is give to self first. Give yourself what you need first before you give to others, okay? Don't go out there giving out of your deficit. You give out of your abundance. Okay, so let's see what it has to say. I attend to my needs. I attend to my needs by listening to my heart, that inner voice. That's being in tune with your inner voice, your inner spirit. My inner essence lets me know what is good for me, and you should listen to it. You should be so intimate with that voice that you will be able to stop dead in your tracks when it tells you to. That's how intimately connected you should be to that inner voice. I respect my limits. Easy does it, but do it. Temperance. I answer the requests of my body first and my soul. This is very important because we talked about the economic and physical hardships, and still dealing with the physical hardships, as I shared, that I struggle with. I have to listen to my body. When my body says, Athena, it's time to sit down, I sit down, because if I don't, it will get worse. And for me, that could appear in a lot of different ways. There have been times when I have maybe gotten up and I couldn't step on my leg, couldn't walk. Okay, so my pain can be very serious. So when my body says, Athena, stop, I stop. So in the process of that, by doing that on a repeated basis, I learn to love myself because I listen to my body and my soul. I learn to love myself. I learn to give myself what I need when I need it, not ignore what my body is saying I need. I learn to give it what it needs when it's needed. And that is how you begin your process of self-love. So for this week, it's important for you to understand that you're in a spirit of giving, and you're giving a self first. And then you're going to give out of that abundance that you have of self to help others, because that's your bridge. Your bridge is the food. Your bridge is telling you that you need to tap into that entrepreneurial spirit, okay? That free spirit that's in you, because that is the key to you getting over to the self-love. You're not living in the total fulfillment of your purpose. That's why you're feeling less than self. And that's why this self-love is difficult right now, because you're not fulfilling your purpose, okay? And remember, you gotta do it in cheerfulness. It's not a chore. When you're working in purpose, cheerfulness is at the top of your list, because this is not work. What I'm doing right now is not work for me. This is my purpose. This is part of my fulfillment. This is part of joy for me. It is not work. Okay? Sharing this with you, the coaching I do, the books I write, it's not work. I do these things every day. And I have since I've been here. You know, they've been maybe a little pronounced earlier on. You know, I did them in different kind of ways in different jobs. But I've always coached people. I've always counseled people. I will say, for the majority, I have been spiritual. I haven't been exercising that spiritual gift for all of my adult life. But I have been working in spirit. I will say that. That's always been a pull for me. And I am just thankful that finally in this year, 2022, I am starting to see the fulfillment of ministry. All of those little pieces that I had to put together, that God had me go through, had me train with this person, train with that person, go to this school. Everything is coming together now in one great big ball, and it is just beautiful to watch it grow. So I am thankful that I listened to that voice and because I'm working in my purpose now, my self-love has increased tremendously. Tremendously. Okay? Tremendously. I love me. And I love what I do. So, this is the Life Calling Coach, and I encourage you to live on purpose and not by accident. I also ask you to continue to follow me. As I told you, the growth readings will now be appearing first on my YouTube channel. And you can follow me on social media using the handle The Life Calling Coach. I am on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Tumblr, if you happen to get over to Tumblr. On Twitter, I am Calling Coach. As always, please visit my website, TheLifeCallingCoach.com, where I have coaching resources available for you. My books are available. What Are You Rooted in series, which is your at-home coaching that you can do at home one-on-one by yourself, or you can do it in a group or with a partner. But I encourage you to keep pushing. I also want to announce that I am going to be offering my Discover Your Life Path, which is formerly the Life Calling Coaching Workshop, which is a workshop designed to help you discover your calling or purpose in life. It is not just about your career. It's about what God called you to do in this life. We were called to different things, and we have gifts that some of us are just sitting on, and God is now in this season saying it's time to get up. So please check back with me at TheLifeCallingCoach.com for registration dates. This is going to be offered as a self-paced course. I may do one live version this year, but it will be available as a self-paced course. You will get the videos from me and all of the assignments, and you can do this at your leisure and under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, or of your unctioning, your spirit of the universe of God. Okay? So thank you again, and I'll see you next week.